everyone. I am really excited to welcome you to the first ever Top of the Drop. I'm your host, Layla Steinberg, and I'm just honored to be with you because we have an incredible hour, great content, and you're here with me for the first time ever. This is a brand new format where we highlight everything from Gala music to upcoming drops, special surprise artists, giveaways, and lots more. I got involved, I came to Gala as someone in the music business looking for the best home for artists that I know that are looking to be in the metaverse, in the Web3 space. And I ended up in Hawaii meeting the whole Gala team. And after a year and a half of searching and my 35 years in the industry, starting as an artist, becoming a manager with Tupac, going on to manage and work with so many artists, wanting to find the best space that we could flourish and build community in Web3. We have a schedule for the next hour, and you get to hear from artists like Kings of Leon, Please and Thank You, BT. This is a celebration of everything Gala's done in 2022, but it's also a celebration of where we're going in the future and everything Gala's building. And without further ado, we have our very first guest, Tess Henley. Welcome to you, Tess. You're our very first guest on Top of the Drop. How does that feel?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It feels like my first time here. It feels new. It's good to be part of this community.
I've been following you. I actually love your music. I love your story. So I'm excited to be here with you. Tell us what you've been up to.
I just released an album. It's called Paramount. That was kind of years in the making. So it's kind of like that relief you feel. And now I'm kind of coming down a bit from that, and I can look ahead to what's next and kind of sharing more of this album in different ways.
Kind of like giving birth, you know? This is your baby.
Yeah.
And it takes a long gestation period.
Yeah.
I wanted to know a little bit more about your experience with your drops on Gala, because it's new to you, right?
Yes, I did one drop so far. It was a song called Joy Somewhere, which is also on the album Paramount. It's been positive. It's the whole Web3 world has been very refreshing and hopeful. There's a hopeful energy around that.
So, Tess, you've been part of a lot of firsts. You were in the first group in Chicago to participate in the Gala Live Chicago. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that was kind of a spur of the moment thing. Taco reached out and asked me to come out to Chicago, and it had been a while since I had played live. So just being able to go and play in front of people, and I felt very welcomed and taken care of, and the respect for music I felt in the room, not just for what I was doing, but for the other artists playing that night. And it was just a listening room. It was the kind of room you'd want to play as an artist.
So, Tess, you were almost born playing music. I've been involved in music my whole life. It's definitely been my salvation. And you are someone who has also breathed music since the age of 3, right?
Yes, my mom was in a band growing up, and that was kind of my first introduction to music. She then got my brother and sister and I in classical piano lessons at 3. And my dad loves music. It just was always around.
So you do breathe music. It's in your DNA.
I find salvation in it too. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, Tess. Thank you so much for being part of the first live, the first artist, the first on Top of the Drop to do this with us. You're building a community that loves you and supports you, and I'm appreciating that I got to do this with you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to meet you, and I'm looking forward to next year and more with Gala.
Awesome. And now I want to hand it over to Sarah No, who is going to be interviewing Kings of Leon. But first, we want to do the rewind of the first ever Galaverse featuring Kings of Leon.
With the rap and the fly, they're searching for an alibi. Take the time to waste a moment. She's in my body, she's in my head. This axis on fire. Running around, always looking down at all I see. Thank you very much, everybody.
Nathan. Good to speak to you, brother. Welcome to Top of the Drops. How you feeling?
Feeling all right. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's an honor. I think that performance there at Galaverse we just checked out, I wasn't personally there, but everything I heard from it and watching the video back, it just looks awesome. Like, I know the community was excited. I feel like something new had launched at that point. Can you tell us more about just your experience at Galaverse and how you got to know Gala in the first place?
Yeah, Galaverse, we got invited to, and I think like a lot of people, we had really no idea what it was all about at the time. I think it was still fresh to everybody, which that seems like a lifetime ago, but it was a year ago, I think this week when it actually happened. So, but yeah, that was kind of our first, I guess, time we got to dip our toes into that world. And having come fresh out of a 7-record deal where we kind of had a set way of doing things for so long and a way that things were expected of us, and then to meet this crew, and it's like, no, we just want you to create and do what you do, and we're not music executives. We handle what we handle, and we let you guys do your thing. So I think for us, the freedom right out of the gate was like just a breath of fresh air of like, what is this? We say what we want and we get it, and there's no pushback from people that really haven't been there with you throughout the whole process. So that in itself was a game changer pretty much for us, of just, they were like, the artists, y'all need control because y'all create the content. So why should it be taken from you? And that, that was music to our ears, literally and figuratively. So that was the start, and we knew we were off to something good after that, and getting to hang out with everybody and meet them and see their vision and kind of mesh our vision with theirs, and it's been great.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I mean, after such a long and just great and storied career, I mean, to have that, I now learning that you were in a 7-album record deal, which I'm sure took many years to get through. And to have that freedom finally to be how you want to be and actually to connect directly with your fan base is a breath of fresh air, I'm sure. And, for me, I wonder, what was your first sort of step into the Web3 space? I kind of read something about the Inspiration 4 project and your NFTs going to outer space and things like that. Can you tell us about just how you guys started in the space in general?
Yeah, well, like I said, we really didn't know a ton about this world at all early on. We were very fortunate to have creative directors and managers that kind of had their fingers on the pulse of something at the time that we didn't even realize was going to be this huge thing, and they did. So, like going into the Hall of Fame, we were like, "Wow, okay, this is the real deal." And then going into outer space, we're like, those are two things we never thought in a million years would ever happen for us, and that all happened within the first, that short period of time. So the track record of awesome, successful things, they're batting 1,000 right now. So we're happy.
That's awesome. And just as you look at, the success of those projects, and as you work, I'm sure you guys work with various artists and songwriters and people in the space. Are there any that you would want to highlight, just that you're working on now, that you would think to bring into the Web3 space as well, hopefully with Gala Music?
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can just kind of be a beacon to show other artists that, because it is scary to take that plunge and not have that protection of Big Brother label behind you that can fight your fights for you and all of that. So you kind of subconsciously get used to that comfort level. And going into this world, it's like, no, you're responsible for what you create and you put out there, and that's your gig. And we're like, it's almost like we're leaning forward, kind of waiting to feel that pushback, but it's not coming. So that's a wonderful feeling to have.
Absolutely. And not just trying to encourage, other artists into the space, but also you guys have a massive international fan base. Like how do you see pulling in your fan base into Web3 as you move more and more into this space as well?
Yeah, the Web3 space just, I think, gives our fans something tangible that we are creating in, basically real time. And it's all about the experience for the fans and the exposure to the band and how close you can get to them. Like with our NFTs, we had a certain type that gave the owners of that certain golden ticket access to backstage, any show they come to. And me and my wife have become friends with people that we met through that program that we're now just friends with and hang out with anytime they're in town or when we're near them. So talking about bringing the fans in, it's like, how much closer can you get than, you get to meet them and hang out and they're good people, you're good people, and, a friendship blossoms out of it. So,
nice.
But yeah, and also the fans, just the access to us to see things that they've never seen before. I mean, I think that's great. Like in this day and age, the news cycle is so quick and splashes aren't nearly as big as they used to be. So you have to take advantage of that. And we're so grateful to have, a team like Gala behind us to let us loose and do what we do.
I'm sure, you guys are itching to get back in the studio, like you mentioned. So just anything coming up or any sort of plans you're excited about for 2023, especially connected to Web3 and Gala that you can speak on. Yeah,
2023 is going to be a big year for us band-wise. Just it's our 20-year anniversary, so that's a pretty big one there. So I think we are trying to curate something special to celebrate that, but to also be able to showcase the new music that we're making with Gala as well. So there's a lot of opportunity out there that we're looking at right now. Some really cool, fun stuff. And yeah, like I said, it's good to have a team like Gala behind you to, make these dreams become a reality.
Well, we're here, man. We appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you for joining us here today. I know we're excited about 2023 and everything that's to come, the new music and everything else. So let's keep it going and keep talking and tell the rest of the crew that we really appreciate them as well.
I will for sure. Thanks for having me on, and happy holidays. Y'all have a good one.
Happy holidays. Thanks, Nathan.
Peace.
Now I'm passing it back to Layla. Take care.
Hi there.
Thanks, Cyrano. I love hearing about Kings of Leon. I think they're awesome. We're really just getting started. We have more interviews to come. We have BT, Please and Thank You, and a few of Gala's very own. And if you stick around till the end, there may be a surprise. But first, we have Emily from September Morning here to talk about her upcoming releases with Gala Music, and I get to interview her. Let's go. Now we get to welcome Emily Lazar from September Morning, and I'm actually super excited. I've been listening to you and following all your stuff, so I'm thrilled that we get to talk to you. Tell us about the tour, Art Basel. What have you been doing?
Oh yeah. Well, we tour. I mean, we're a professional touring rock band. We tour a lot. But this tour was kind of wrapped around a Web3 performance at Art Basel that we were doing with the Women's Summit. I did speak on the panel down there. I talked to a lot of people. We were mostly talking about the ticketing issue. Of course, you know about the Live Nation sort of situation that's going on with the DOJ and everything like that. And that's a repeat performance from like a long time ago. And now we're seeing it with the Taylor Swift situation. So we were talking about NFTs and how they can help in that whole situation and maybe minimize some of what's going on with the monopoly that's been formed. So yeah, it was really interesting. It was a great conversation, and then we started touring up the East Coast, and we did about 2 weeks of dates, and then I'm home. So it's good to be home.
And you're actually you're paving the way with Gala because you're the first metal band with Gala, and you're already and you're already in the web space, the Web3 space. So tell me more about that.
Yeah, it's really important that we get metal out there in the Web3 space, and I'm so happy that I was able to be the first female hard rock metal musician to mint and sell an NFT on the blockchain. That happened about 2 years ago or something, and it was very exciting. Daily Blockchain News, did a whole article on me about it and everything like that, and it was a lot of fun back then, and it still is a lot of fun right now. And I think the technology is really a hedge for the market in the future, and for music NFTs, especially for musicians, because of what it allows us to do, and also how it paves the way for financial freedom for a lot of musicians, and to be able to create more, to produce more albums, to produce more music, to go on tour, to do what we need to do in a world where music has been devalued so much. So it's really important.
Build a real sustainable community. So,
sustainable community is the key.
That was my next question, because you could be anywhere and you actually have made so much noise in the space. Why Gala? How did Gala get you?
Well, Gala Games is you guys are kind of like a flagpole in gaming. And so, that's already interesting to me because I'm a gamer. But besides that, there's also the music aspect of it. And I had some friends that have been working with you guys, and I've seen, you're working with some other friends, actor friends of mine, David Bianchi. There's people that are in your, ecosystem from Web3 that I trust and I love to death. And so being a part of, it's very much in Web3, we're all kind of like this weird dysfunctional family that is like moving this weird tech forward and pushing it into and breathing life into it, into the world. And so I feel like when I see my friends and the people that I admire working with certain people, I want to be part of that too, because, I want to support them and I want to support that company and I want to grow with them. And I think there's a lot of growth factors over at Gala that I'd love to kind of introduce my world, because my band isn't just a band. It's based on a graphic novel. We have a storyline. We have a whole thing. We play the characters on stage. We play Comic-Cons, anime festivals, all this sort of stuff. So it'd be great to integrate that whole storyline into what you guys have going on at Gala, and not just the music side, but all over Gala. It would be great. So I'm hoping that, this is the doorway to that.
I love that. And I love that that you, with your music, force us to ask some questions about our purpose, our life, why we're living, death. With your music, have us confront some of the most difficult things that we all as individuals need to face and confront. So I appreciate not just your art and your music, but that you have us thinking, and we need that. Our artists are our most powerful teachers, so thank you. What else do you have coming? What's next?
Oh gosh, we have so much coming. I'm constantly working on things. Of course, we did the September's Monsters NFT was my first generative drop, which was done over a year ago, and that sold out. And we've been doing. I parlayed that into attaching real world attributes to the NFT. So if you own the NFT, you can get into our VIPs for free at shows or on tour. Like, there's real world attributes that are connected to my NFTs. So I just want to bring more and more of that into the future. So I'm working on this drop with Gala, of course. Some other drops are in the pipeline with some other people.
The 20th, right?
And just trying to. Yes, the drop on Gala is on the 20th. I'm so excited because
I am too.
Can I say a little bit about what goes on with the drop? Because I'm very excited about this Gala drop.
I want you to say something. I want you to say something, because I also appreciate that you've really thought about the utility in your community, and that you are entering this with so much to give people that support you and commit to being in your community. So yeah, give us a little bit more before you leave us.
Okay, so real quick, so the Gala drop is very exciting because, especially if you're in the Gala Games community and you don't really know September Morning, and you're like, what is this story? Like, who is September Morning? She's a Reaper human hybrid, and she gives people second chances at life, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so if you want to learn about it, you pick up the NFT, and we're going to give you a download of the PDF of the graphic novel, which is 4 of our books in like one graphic novel PDF. So you get a download of that for free when you pick up the NFT. You also get a cover song that we did, along with the original song that we did, called Empty. And Empty is a great song. I loved writing it. I can talk about that a little bit too. But you get a cover of I'm going to not even name it because I want it to be a surprise, but you get a cover of a really cool song that was kind of big, like 90s era rock, but we redid it and made it more metal, and it's pretty, it slams. I think that it's a banger and you guys will love it. So that's just like an add-on to the NFT that you get. And then, of course, there's Empty, which is the original NFT song that we're putting out through Gala. And yeah, I think it's a really, really cool song. So I hope you like it and all the utility that comes with it.
So this is awesome. I'm actually really excited I got to talk to you. I've been following you. So thank you, Emily. I appreciate your work. We are all going to follow and see what you have coming for us with September Morning. And I like that it's September Morning, MOURNING. Right? September Morning.
Definitely. It's always a morning.
So with that, thank you again. Thank you for joining us, and about to throw it over to Bucks and see what she has coming next. So thank you again.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Hi guys, and thank you, Layla. He's chuckling already. That's always the sign of a friend, isn't it? And a good interview that's in the making. Hello, BT.
Oh, it's so great to see you, Bucks. I'm so happy to be here.
Let's talk about the fact that we're still talking. This is good news, and it shouldn't be a massive surprise for anybody because you're actually quite active in the Gala Music Discord. And, you know, I know we owe an awful lot of goodwill and thanks to our orb holders. They're hugely important. And I think we just wanted to chat a little bit today about some of the plans we've got in flight for those, and some of the utility and some of the surprises. They're not going to be surprises if we ruin them today, but some of the things that we've maybe got coming down the pipe. Did you want to, I'll poke you a little bit as you give information, but did you want to start with what you're working on for the orbs holders specifically? Did you want to start there and then we'll meander together?
I would love to. So we literally have been working on a project for orbs holders since the day after the orbs dropped. So that's the first kind of, I suppose, little cheeky spoiler is this project has been in process literally since the day after the orbs drop. So this project that we're working on, I'm going to be careful what I say because it, you know, as they say, good things take time, and especially things that haven't happened before take a lot of time. And speaking to the Orbs project itself, part of what's so special about it, and it's funny because, you know, my peers and my friends will frequently come to me that are interested in doing NFT projects, and they'll say, hey, you know, we've seen that you've done like a lot of cool stuff in this space. What's possible? And so the thing that I always show them is the orbs and what's special about them, you know, this Bucks, but just to kind of restate is that they're live. And so it's actually live music and it's live runtime generated visuals, which was a massive technical lift to accomplish. So I thought the whole time during the process, how cool it would be. First of all, if you consider the orbs a proof of concept insofar as music, you know, starting with ambient music, like if we sort of leveled up what's happening musically into things that feature rhythms, I want to be careful here, kind of ostinatos, things that are kind of modern and rhythmic, right? Is what I'll say. And then also to take some of the Ray marching objects that we designed and to make something very, very new and different with it. And to like put a bow on this, the idea from the jump has been, what if we gave people access to some of these things? You know, basically like the development tools that I'm building with, and people could actually effectuate change in a project. Like if they were able to say, I really prefer these colors, I really prefer this kind of thing, or I might like this kind of music. And so we're working on something so freaking special. I actually feel guilty when I'm using it on my own, that I can't just like, you know, blab and show everyone. But there's something so exciting coming in the first part of next year for orbs holders. And it's just an awesome opportunity for me to say thank you to them, because I feel lucky to have gotten to know such an awesome group of people.
BT, as always, you are so gracious and you are so articulate. But I think most of the orbs holders, particularly the ones that bought the orbs because of the belief in your background and the future that this project has, are pretty happy. I am an orb holder. I did it before the removal of the floor, for those that are interested. And I'm very happy and I'm very excited to see what happens. So, and I know what's happening, and I'm can't wait so you can tell the guys more. This is, however, top of the drop, so we should probably talk a little bit about music and the conversation we were having. I think that's something in addition to the project that you're working on, is to give orb holders the ability to actually be part of the Gala music ecosystem through track ownership. Is that correct?
That's exactly right. And I mean, we've been really excited. I'm freaking out about this. And I'm like, Can we tell people this, please? Because it's really cool. So, so that's exactly right, and you said it perfectly. So, the idea is allowing people to kind of parse out the music part of this thing and share it on their music nodes quite simply. And so, this is something that is kind of occurring in real time. So, yeah, we couldn't be more excited about that. It's such a natural fit for the Gallic music ecosystem as well too. And it's different as well too, because they're real time generative. So we're working out a way that they can be codified into a
how
track.
it works.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, but that's happening. So there you go. That's something really cool.
So not only do you get the beautiful art, but if you get a music track, and it sounds like you're going to get one, then obviously when that gets played as a track owner, if it's paired with a node, you get rewards. So that's quite nice as well. So winning. And then the final thing, because I know we're short on time, and I think you're stealing my job. You're coming back later as a host, which I'm fine with. It's
allegedly.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's good.
So I'm not upset at all that I've been kicked out. It's fine. To be replaced by you is absolutely okay. But before we time out, I wanted to, particularly with that mega background of yours, you have worked on some film soundtracks and such in the past, haven't you?
Yes, many. Yeah, over 15, and too many television shows to count, tons of video games, but a lot of feature films. Yeah.
Okay, give me 2 feature films that I would have heard of.
Well,
in.
the first Fast and Furious, and Monster that Charlize Theron won the Oscar for. I get ones that come up a lot weirdly are especially for people with young kids, is people will like not care about my background at all. And they'll be like, oh my God, my kid is obsessed with Partysaurus Rex. I did a bunch of stuff for Pixar as well. One of those Partysaurus Rex. That's one that comes up a lot. But I've done tons of feature films, but there's a couple of them. So yeah, they're so fun to do.
Amazing. So we were having a chat. I'll give them another little cheeky leak. We were having a chat, weren't we, about how we thought it would be really, really what's the word I'm looking for? Pertinent. I'm going to go with pertinent. To explore an opportunity where our emerging artists are able to perhaps participate in some of the creation of some of our film soundtracks as Gala Film gets up and running. And obviously having you on board as a music advisor and somebody which we're going to figure out exactly what you'd like to advise on, because you cover so many things, but that feels like a really lovely place to start. And so I think more news to come on that in the new year, but I'm really excited to see if we can give more opportunities to artists to start working with people like you for some of our film productions as well, which is exciting. And obviously, if there's a track in a film and it happens to be a track on Gala Music, everybody in both ecosystems benefits. So that's nice.
Exactly. And it's very interesting because I think I have the strong belief that, I mean, I know this for a fact, that lots of gamers love playing around in DAWs. A lot of them, end up kind of exploring composition. And I'm positive that within the Gala ecosystem, there's a lot of budding composers. Huge passion of mine is, mentoring to and sharing knowledge with young and upcoming composers. I had some amazing teachers, as a kid, both in conservatory and at Berklee School of Music. And I was blessed to study under some really awesome people. So whenever I have the opportunity to inspire young composers and kind of share knowledge and experience, even because like film composition is so much not just about writing music, it's about the kind of relational parts of being a part of a team. So I love that stuff. And then final thing is, because I develop music software, there's this real sort of symbiotic potential for working with budding composers in the Gala ecosystem. So I'm very excited to talk about that as that unfolds.
Okay, BT, we are on time. Well, we're not. We're probably massively over time, but you know what I mean. Would you
I do.
like to? I think you're coming back anyway, so you don't need to say goodbye. You can say see you in a bit. What are you coming back to do?
I'm coming back to do an interview with Please and Thank You. I'm really looking forward to that. And as always, so fun to spend time with you, Buck. So yeah, great to see you guys.
Yeah, it's lovely to see you too. And I will talk to you very, very soon, I'm sure. Actually, guys, I'm going to come back right after a little something that I think you might find quite exciting. Here is V2 of the Gala Music website. Roll the tape, Charlie. Well, I hope you enjoyed that because honestly, it's so nice to see it live. You guys know that it's been ready for quite a long time, or 99.9% there, and we just had to get it over the line. So I'm so delighted to see that video. And I'm even more delighted to be able to introduce you to a member of the team who's going to talk a little bit more about what you have just seen. Julian. Hello, Julian.
Hello, Bucks. How's it going?
I'm great, thank you. Before I ask you, well, I'll ask you how you are, but can you tell us who you are? It would be lovely to find out a little bit about Julian, because you're kind of important in the music team.
I wouldn't go as far to say that, but I'm doing well, a little nervous. This is my first time on the show, a show. I guess it's the first show. But yeah, I'm fairly new to Gala. I joined a few months ago, which simultaneously feels like it's been, 3 weeks and 3 years. I don't know if that's normal, but helping out on
Totally
everything strategy. What does that mean? I'm still figuring it out as well, but it's been a whirlwind, helping to build out some of the features on this new site that we're talking about, working on the fan store, which we'll get into, and helping to kind of figure out what we want to do with our artists. So it's been a lot of fun.
So we're going to start with a really obvious question, which is we're doing top of the drops, but there is a
Yes.
bit of an elephant in the room, right? Which is there a
course.
particular reason we're doing it this day, at this time? What's happening in the background? Is there something happening in the background that people should know about Julian?
Yeah, good question. I mean, there's always something happening in the background. I would say this has been a busy week for music overall. We have a lot of drops, and this is the first top of the drops. But what's really exciting is that we are finally releasing V2 of our website. So it's an entirely updated site. The look and feel are totally different, a bunch of new features. So that is kind of what this is all about to celebrate.
Okay, we're getting somewhere. So when you say we've updated our website, I'd love you just to hit on a couple of keynotes. See what I did there? Keynotes about what's changed and why should people care? Is it really going to make much of a difference? We know that everybody's really looking to Q1 next year when the whole thing goes live. Why does this matter? Because I'm guessing it does. I'm hoping it does.
I like to think it does. So to be clear, this is not the launch of the full platform. That is coming next quarter. This is much more of kind of an update of V2. But there's a bunch of new features that I'm excited about, a few of my favorites. So you can finally listen to your music NFTs and any song on the platform, which feels pretty basic, right? You should be able to listen to the music that you own. But there is this indescribable feeling that you get when you listen to a song that you actually own. It's a level of artist-fan connection that I have never really felt before through normal streaming. So I think that's exciting. And all of this places feels kind of nice with curation as well. So you can create your songs and top tracks. You're able to like songs, and artists can see who exactly is liking and listening to their music. And from there, you can build collections and create playlists to show off your taste. And the whole experience is fully redesigned, so it feels like an entirely new music experience that was purpose-built to be intuitive for both artists and fans. So I think it gets us a step closer to our ultimate goal, which is really connecting artists and fans in a new way that's powered by Web3, which is what I think the full platform release next quarter will let us do.
That sounds quite exciting. I know we're trying to lowball this, but I am pretty excited about it. What are you said, and
too.
I just want you to sort of double tap. Good. That's a relief, because if he thought it was rubbish, we'd be in trouble.
It's important, right?
Okay, it is, just slightly. I want to just double tap on something you said. You talked about the fact that we've essentially released the beginnings of a streaming platform. Are we now doing something with those plays that we were maybe not doing before? Is that important? Is that significant? I'm kind of asking a loaded question. You can see where I'm going. What do you think?
Yeah. Great question. I'm glad that you asked. Yes. So we're finally now tracking listens and plays on the platform, which is going to be really important. It's kind of what this entire Gala music ecosystem is built on. So when the full platform launches next quarter, when we have the entirely new site, these things will matter and will directly play into the rewards that you're getting for owning those music NFTs.
Great. And I'm hoping there's a way, I'm pretending like I haven't seen this, but let's go with it. I'm hoping there's a way that you can, as an artist, go in and see, and you sort of said you can start to see your fans and things, but as a collector, you've got that visibility of what's popular, what's happening, that kind of thing. Is that all in there? And to what degree?
Yeah. Absolutely. So you can take a look at different tracks. You can see how many likes they have. You can see where they appear in playlists. Artists get this view as well. We really want to democratize the data and make this a platform for both sides, for fans, but also for the artists. So there's great visibility to understand what the top tracks are, what's trending. When you go to kind of the main homepage, you can see all of the trending tracks as well. And it's a great way just to discover new music too.
And last loaded question, and then I'm going to let you freestyle for a little minute or two. When it comes to things like the tracks, plays are obviously incredibly important in this ecosystem, as we know. How are we helping users to be, new users to come in to the Gala music ecosystem? What are we doing there that we hope will enable us to scale even ahead of Q1 next year? What are we up to there?
Yeah, I mean, I think a ton of different things. So what was that now?
I said it's free.
Oh, yeah. And that's a huge point. Totally free. Everything is free. I mean, you can own music, and I do think that there's this
well, not everything is free. Whoa. Let's not give away everything, Julian.
Sorry.
If you want to come and listen to the music.
There we go.
We know
free
how
to
this
listen,
goes,
free
right?
to anybody with a Gala
back.
music account. I know.
There
Don't overpromise. Don't overpromise. That's on me. But yeah, if you have a Gala music account, you can come in, you can listen to all of the artists that we've been working with. We're always adding new artists. And so we're really excited that anybody with a Gala music account can come to the site, can listen to all the music on the platform for free.
Amazing. And then I was going to just top on a couple of other things. One, and this is just directly to the community, actually. I would like to qualify that I have never said that we're removing uptime rewards for node owners. We are not removing uptime rewards for node owners. We will still come back and we will still clarify and qualify all of the things you need around the tokenomics and economics of the system nearer the time. It's in our wheelhouse to get that done and to get it right. And obviously, as you all know, we're now aiming for Q1 next year for full release. This is a Goliath of a project, no question, to get this built right and to the best possible standards so that we know and can have confidence in its scale. One thing, and I'm going to let you finish off with this one, Julian. Could you just talk very briefly about the fan experience store? Because I think that's something that's going to be so critical to this proposition as it grows as well as when it launches. Can you just give the guys a kind of an overview of what that is, why they should care, and how maybe that's going to look when it launches?
Yeah, so really glad you asked about that. Fan Store is got to be my favorite part of everything we're building. So it's where you as a fan can go to unlock the most exclusive experiences and content available from your favorite artists. So our chief strategy officer likes to tell a story that really drives it home for me. So a few months ago, he got invited to ride with Kings of Leon on their private jet to a show in Guadalajara and then sit backstage while they were performing. And this is the type of experience that we want our fan store to be chock full of. And it's the type of thing that wouldn't be possible for an everyday fan until now. And it's another area where the community can really have a big say in helping to set the direction of what we build. So a challenge out to everybody watching: what are the sorts of experiences you would want to unlock? Is it a backstage pass? Is it a signed piece of merch? Is it a private Discord with your favorite artists? All to say, I'm really excited for people to dive into V2, but even more excited to have people take a look at what we've got coming in 2023, because it really is a mammoth.
Oh, it's super exciting. And what I love about that story, I was fortunate enough to be there as well, was actually the Kings of Leon. They want to give experience like that to their super fans particularly. And while we were there, as, representing Gala, getting deals done and all that fun stuff. The best part of that experience was watching two super fans, Barb being one of them, getting pulled out of the front row and put behind the scenes. And that's something that Kings of Leon are already doing. So this sort of ambition and this sort of desire to get better connected to fans, to give people these experiences, is already there. So I love that we're giving them the platform to be able to do this as well, rather than, it's not something that's being created in spite of them. It's actually being created because of them. And I think that's the really important difference of what we're doing, which I think is cool. So I'm glad you're excited about the fan store, because I'm excited to see how that one develops for sure. So sadly, Julian, that is the end of our little conversation. Time, as we know, waits for no man or bucks. So we have to carry on with our little journey of Top of the Drops. But the good news is we're going over to two of our favorite, don't tell the others, team members, Taco and Scott, to talk about a very, very, very cool project, which I do believe goes by the term Ape Rave Club. Over to the guys.
Bucks, thank you so much for that. I'm excited to have made the cut to do this program. This feels really good. We're a little deep into it. I would have preferred more of like an early headliner or close it out, but I'll take what I can get. And I am here with Scott, who also works for Gala, but I don't think we've ever officially introduced you. Scott, can you tell the community who you are? What's going on, man?
Yeah, so it's now January, February, March. I think I've been here since March. Yeah, I think I was actually the third person for music. It was Lane, Alex, and me and whatnot, and so thanks for finally bringing me on, Taco. I had to bribe him just to get the invite, but I'm here. So yeah, working in the backgrounds. Prior to Gala, was a tenured professor of music industry, and I've owned a professional recording studio for over a decade now. So definitely, been around the music block. And as soon as the Web3, kicked off, I jumped head first. I said, forget it, I'm all in. So yeah. So now I'm here.
And you wear a few different hats for Gala, but your primary role, we're going to call it strategy.
Sure. Yeah, it roles. We don't even like those, do we here? I don't think so. We
don't like them at all. People want to know what you do with Gala.
We bounce, but yeah, I love like strategizing and, you know, coming up with cool ideas and working with artists and doing all of the above business and all that stuff. So wherever I'm needed. But yeah, sure. Let's label it strategy.
We'll label it strategy. One of the things you recently strategized around was Ape Rave Club, who joined us. That you were a big part of forming that relationship, that the whole deal with them. Do you want to talk about apes and raves and clubs?
Yeah, let's talk about some apes and raves and clubs. Well, you know, first, like Ape Rave Club is it's an EDM artist collective, right? So it's, you know, made and thought up of some music industry vets that are, you know, both talented on the business side and on the production side, as most of the people I think have heard now that the music is very legit, considering the fact their debut is also Tomorrowland. But it really is just kind of bringing two worlds together, from, you know, the digital realm and the NFT space and Web3, and also having a physical presence in our fun, you know, festive vibes and concerts that we go to. So it's I think it's the inevitable when it comes to the music scene. And if you really think of it, it's been going on forever. Via Disney, we grew up with a lot of singing characters in front of us, and now they're just interacting with us in a whole new way that's both cool and, you know, time will really tell what they actually can do. But the coolest part is the artists can do all this stuff at you know, at home and with their teams. So it's an exciting time, and it's really good music. So yeah,
that's the key. It wouldn't work if it wasn't great music.
Yeah, 100%. But it's also, you know, storytelling, right? So, you know, getting involved with them from the beginning and learning about their background and the people behind it, and, you know, their experiences in music. They're really excited just because they're able to tap into different genres of music and do, you know, pretty much anything the consumer wants and is going to enjoy, and not have to be this one thing. You know, I think are all familiar with Giba now, which is, you know, Bored Ape. What is he? 9184, I believe, from the Blue Chip collection. And it's a great way to introduce, you know, people to this space by working off other IPs. So right there, it's just a whole nother business that, you know, is just really cool to understand and be involved with. And again, this is kind of why I left that tenured position, because who knows?
Yeah, it's exciting. I grew up with Gem and the Holograms in the 80s, and same thing. It was a cartoon that was an actual band with real songs, and I wish we had Web3 so I could buy NFTs and have a more tangible relationship with fictional characters. For people who don't know, Giba isn't a real ape.
Yeah,
I just wanted to clarify that. Awesome.
Was there confusion in the Discord or something?
There's been a little bit of confusion in the Discord.
Okay.
It looks real. It talks like a real ape. That was.
I guess you got Elon, you know, putting chips in animals and stuff and playing video games. So who knows nowadays, right?
Anything is possible. I know we don't have a ton of time, so I'm glad I finally got to actually speak to you in front of the community. And now we are going to throw to BT, who I believe is talking to one of our newer artists. Please and thank you. BT, take it away.
Hey everybody, Taco, thank you. I'm excited to be here with the newest artist to the Gala music community. Please and thank you. How are you doing, man? I'm excited to hang out.
I'm good. How are you? No, it's really great to connect, and just so ecstatic that I'm talking to you know, just a legend. So thanks for having me, and happy to kick this off.
Amazing, man. Well, that's really kind. I appreciate that very much. I heard you were causing quite a ruckus in Discord the other day. if a little birdie told me right. I think that's so rad. We're so lucky to be involved with such an incredible community of people. So I'm excited to see artists like yourself engaging with the Gala music community in those kind of ways. I think that's part of what makes Web3 so special. So tell us about yourself. Some things people would know, and some things people wouldn't know as well too.
Yeah, sure. Quick introduction. I'm Tom, better known as Please and Thank You. I'm an electronic musician, producer, DJ from Florida. My music's had over 100 million streams on streaming platforms, had a collection of chart-topping singles. I've had songs placed in nationally airing television commercials here in the United States, like a Hershey's chocolate commercial. And then I've also toured nationally, playing at a lot of the A-list dance music festivals and nightclubs here in the U.S.
Amazing, man. I mean, that's so cool. And tell us about your interest in Web3 and like how you got excited and interested in it, and what about it feels exciting and different. Because clearly, you've done all kinds of stuff. You've had a tremendous amount of success in Web 2 type things. So like, what appeals to you about the whole kind of Web3 thing?
Sure. Yeah. So I guess I'll just give a brief rundown of kind of what I've been involved in the space. And then I can talk more about, what's so appealing about it and why I'm so excited about it. But I first got my start in Web3 in 2019. I was actually one of the first 10 creators on a platform called Foundation when they were still only doing physical products, which a lot of people
That's
actually don't know. They did physical products to begin with. So we released my very special EP, which has just come out at the time on vinyl. And essentially how it would work is you would purchase a token and then later burn the token to redeem for the physical product. So that was a tremendous success. And shortly after, I started collaborating with a wide array of visual artists on a site called Super Rare, which is prestigious one-of-one platform.
Absolutely.
And pivoting from Super Rare, moved into doing a lot of work behind the scenes, which actually people don't know that I was involved in. So one of those I can say is that I was a part of the creative direction and also visuals for Bitcoin conference in Miami in 2020 and 2021. So everything on the stage, behind the speakers, like Floyd Mayweather, members of Congress, etc., I had a hand in. And then I also collaborated at the conference on a skateboard deck design that was signed by Tony Hawk and later auctioned off for his charity initiative. So a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people actually don't know about. And then stuff that's more service level, Foundation, Super Rare, now Gala, etc.
That's absolutely amazing. And I mean, in the Web3 space, maybe not as much now as, say, 6 months ago, but 6 months is kind of considered an OG. So hearing that you were doing projects with Foundation when they were, it was physical products, is really remarkable. It's very, very cool, and cool to hear that you've been doing so much stuff too behind the scenes. But I'd love to hear from you, like, what are the things that you're really stoked on, what that means for your community, your fans, the electronic music scene at large. Like, what is it that you're really excited about Web3?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me has been the community element and the direct relationship with fans, right? So, for the first time, we're seeing an audience engagement and also just providing an experience that recorded music and traditional Web2 streaming platforms cannot provide. And we're also seeing value for our work, right? Because if we win, the collectors and the fans also win. So we're potentially creating super fans in this way that are investing in our projects and gunning for our success, because it's mutually beneficial. And then on top of that, it's to me, it's all about the one-on-one personal connection, direct access to your favorite artist, and them having noticed you, right?
You're right.
Traditional Web2 platforms, you can, you'll playlist your favorite artists, you'll listen to them all day long, but there's no recognition from that artist. So I think Web3 entirely shifts that.
Yeah, God, that's really well said. I agree with you completely. And it really does incentivize kind of this idea of, almost like fractionalized ownership of discovery, the discovery mechanic for an artist, where the community and the fans and the artists kind of rise together and are empowered together. So that's all great, man. I couldn't agree with you more. So yeah, Tom, why don't you talk to us about your recent drop with Gala and why you picked that song, and maybe some upcoming things you've got, this coming year in 2023.
Sure. Yeah. So my recent drop with Gala was a track titled "With You," which featured a vocalist by the name of Rin, an incredible female vocalist, powerful voice, and just blown away by the entire process and working with the Gala team. It sold out yesterday. Thank you so much to all the collectors that were able to grab a copy, and be on the lookout for more in 2023. A lot of new music planned, and also more drops on Gala and more partnerships and things to come.
That's amazing, man. That's so cool. I'm sure everybody's really excited to hear that. 2023 is going to be really fun with the Gala music community. There's a lot of cool stuff to come this year. So we're going to pass it over to Layla to close us out. Tom, it was great talking to you, man. Look forward to seeing you at an event sometime.
But are you down for me? Down for me? Would you down for me?
Thanks for that, BT. That just about wraps up our very first Top of the Drops. Hope you learned some things about our artists and what's coming in 2023. Now, we have a sound booth offer, but it wouldn't be a Gala show without a little surprise at the end. And I do believe Buck started a tradition with Galaverse Day 3, that those of you that have chosen and found the time to watch this live should be rewarded. So keep up that tradition. Since this is our very first Top of the Drop, I would like to invite you all to scan the QR code that you should see on your screen now. Fill out that type form in the next 30 minutes, and you'll be given access to the brand new membership of Gala Music's Sound Booth. For now, I'm Layla Steinberg, your host for the first ever Top of the Drop. To close us out, we've got to look back at all of the emerging artists that have released with Gala this year.